Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Queen's Table, Thursday night, 7:30. As always, we've got a very special guest this evening. Hello.
Hello, my love. Hello.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Rachael Heslop, and I am your UKs National Miss Newcastle.
Oh, it's so lovely to see you.
I know, you too. It's been too long, far too long.
I know, it seems like ages, doesn't it? But it seems quick, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, it does.
Like,
it does.
You know, it's flown by, but it seems like ages. I know what I'm saying there. So it's so lovely to see you. And it's not long now, is it? Things are creeping up till.
They are, yes, yeah. Just over 2 weeks until finals. Yeah, can't wait. Cannot wait.
Oh, I'm really excited. So starting on that point, let's ask you, why did you choose the UK's National Miss system?
So I knew that I wanted to come back into pageants after having the kids. I used to do pageants before I got married and had the kids. So it would have been about 8 years ago now, I think, since I last competed. And when I last competed, I felt really unconfident just before I would go on stage. Like I'd had massive crisis of confidence just before, to the point that I was ready to pull out. And I was like, right, I want to do it again after I've had the kids, and I want to do it and feel really good doing it. So I knew I wanted to come back, and I knew that I wanted to come back to a pageant girl system, because I think anyone that's competed in Holly systems knows that you get that really like familial vibe, and everyone's very much like a big family, which I love. And just that whole, it's the excitement of it being brand new. Obviously, it's in its first year. I think it gives a massive opportunity for kind of really setting the mold for them future queens that come through after. And it's nice to see that there's like this wider breadth of like inclusivity with the classic division, all the rest of it. And now obviously Holly's got a whole host of pageants that have different divisions, but the classics are a new one for Holly, which is amazing. So I just think it's fab that there's just this massive range of people that are going to be there, which is fab.
Yeah, it's really exciting, isn't it? Because I think Holly come up with it in lockdown, wasn't it? So it was a very sort of lockdown. Yeah. And I mean, I must admit, and I looked at it myself and thought, this looks amazing. I mean, obviously, because I love Holly anyway, but I do like the fact that it's got a classic division and things like that. That's really, really nice, isn't it? And I just love the look of it. It's just got this real nice buzz about it. And
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, the contestants all look amazing, and
yeah, I love the fact that it's going to be over 2 days as well, because it then means that first day we've got a day where we really all get to know each other and do loads of different activities together. Like we're doing Pilates in the morning on the Monday, which is going to be fab. We've got a couple of photo shoots throughout the day, and then we've got a pink PJ party on the evening. So it just means we've got a bigger amount of time to really get to know each other as well, which is really cool. Because obviously we've all seen each other online over the past year and a bit. So it's going to be really nice to kind of put faces to names and just have a decent amount of time to really get to know each other as well, which is really cool.
Oh, that's lovely. So on the day leading up to it, is it just like a group together? I mean, you all just doing something together, as like a pajama party or anything like that, or?
Yeah, so on the first day we have like a photo shoot first thing in the morning, and then there's like a Pilates group that's being run by Holly's friend Steph, that we all know from pageants as well, which is really cool. And then yeah, I think there's like a whole host of activities that they've got planned later on in the afternoon that they're keeping under wraps for now. So we'll be interested to see what they are when we get there. But I'm sure they'll be fab, like fun, like team building stuff and all the rest of it. And then yeah, on the evening it's the PJ party, which is going to be really, really good fun.
Oh, that sounds so much fun. So you're coming back to compete, like you said, after 7 years as a mum. How's it different this time round competing as a mum?
I think, as I say, like a lot of it for me, I wanted to come back and feel confident. And I think I've always massively struggled with my confidence, but I've really come into my own since having the kids. So I think whilst there was a kind of a potential to be not as skinny as I was, I'm not as young as I was, and all the rest of it, and doing a lot of comparing, I feel like actually in reality it's been a case of I really feel like I've got a better sense of self now. So for things like preparing for interview, I felt like before I was so nervous because I didn't really know if I had anything to say, whereas now I feel like I've got a lot to say, and I've got kind of like real passion and drive behind my platform. So being able to take that into an interview, I think is just going to make a massive difference as well. And just, yeah, I guess trying to prove to not only myself, but to other people, like, just because you're married and have kids and all the rest of it doesn't mean you can't still have a great time and compete in things like pageants for yourself. So.
Oh, that's very good. I agree with that completely. So talking about your platform, you've got an amazing platform about autism. Could you just talk me through a bit about that, please?
Yeah, so it's all around kind of autism acceptance, and more specifically around speech, language, and communication needs. So for those that don't know, I've got a little boy called Charlie who's 4.5, and he is autistic and nonverbal. And there's a kind of whole sliding spectrum with both autism, but also with being nonverbal, and he's at kind of the extreme end of the nonverbal side in that he doesn't talk at all. I think we've probably only had about 5 words out of him since he was born. More recently, it's been kind of the odd word, but he'll say something and then we won't hear it again for months. So I really kind of wanted to do something that would educate people more on autism, because I know up until Charlie was diagnosed, or we were starting to suspect that that's what was going on with Charlie, I was quite ignorant to autism. How it was described to me when I was younger is it's like a 3-year-old in a grown-up's brain, and now looking back, I'm just like, that couldn't be more inaccurate. So I think for me, it's just, I really wanted to educate as many people as I can on autism, so that they're more accepting when they come across people that are autistic, because it's like 1 in 10 people are autistic, so it's very, very common. But also throughout that, in terms of the speech and language side, I've also set up like a support network for other parents like myself that have got children that are nonverbal or struggle with their communication. So really being able to, I guess, let that flourish as well, and really grow a network that's got parents in it from right up and down the country. It's just brilliant. It's been really fab to do.
It must be really good to sort of network with other parents that have got autistic children themselves. But I don't think a lot of people know that actually it is that common, that it is 1 in 10 people, isn't it? And I don't think they realise quite a lot, and how difficult it might be to get the support for the children, get the support for adults, because I've found that personally myself, because my husband got diagnosed in his adulthood. But I definitely don't think people realise it is actually 1 in 10 people. There is quite a lot of people with autism out there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and it's one of those as well. Like, as you say, a lot of people don't get diagnosed until much later on. It's something like 1 in, well, I think majority of people normally, or most children, get diagnosed between kind of like 5 and 15. When we were going through the process, we had quite a lot of frustration that it felt like Charlie was being diagnosed really late at 4. But actually, now that I know more about it, I know that we've been incredibly lucky for him to be diagnosed at 4, because that now means that he's been able to get things like speech therapy at a decent time, and like a critical time in his life as well. When he starts school in September, he's starting at a school for autistic kids. So it means straight away from the get-go, he's going to be in a place that really understands him and knows how to support him fully throughout school. So we have been incredibly lucky. And I think, as you say, like, it's that support can be a bit lackluster from kind of like the official avenues. And I only know one other person that's got an autistic child. So again, just creating those connections with other parents that are going through the same things as you are just makes it feel like a bit less of a weight, like you just have somebody else to confide in. So yeah, I really wanted to get that going for other parents too.
Yeah, no, that's really good, because you have got that person that you can sort of confide in, that understands what you're feeling and things like that. You can have a chat about what experiences you're having. So what sort of thing have you been doing online? I have seen a few bits and pieces for your autistic awareness campaigns, things like that. What campaigns have you been up to?
So we did a couple of like articles about people's personal experiences with autism. So I did one about myself and Charlie, and another one, for example, was a guy that I work with called Joey, who also, he's in his 20s now, and he did a really open article on dealing with autism throughout school as well, which is amazing. Just having all those perspectives, I think, really that's the bit that opens up other people's eyes to what it's like. But then we also did a couple of videos that were kind of like more educational for people to learn more about autism. So they were just like general facts about people that are autistic. So for example, obviously Charlie being non-verbal, a lot of children that are non-verbal by the time they're 40% of them will never learn to talk. And that's obviously a crazy high statistic for one, but I think it's one that majority of people wouldn't know. I think a lot of people just think, oh, it's just late talking, where it's like, actually, you might not talk, and if he doesn't, that's okay. But that's where you then come across people that have got systems that talk for them on iPads or in books and all the rest of it. So that was a really fab one to do, and just kind of, I guess, like as many tips as possible to be a really good ally, really, and just do as much as possible that you can to just be really accepting and inclusive of autistic people.
Oh, you are doing so well. It's an incredible platform, and I just think you're doing so well with spreading awareness.
Oh, thank you.
So the other thing is you were telling me earlier you're returning to education this year. So can you tell me about this, because this is really exciting?
Yeah, so after well over a decade of finishing college, I'm going back in September to do an access to health course, so that then next year I can go to study midwifery at university. It's been a massive dream for me for years and years and years. As soon as I finished school, I went into catering, and before I'd even finished the first year, I knew that just was not for me, and wanted to go into midwifery at that point, but I didn't know if I had the emotional resilience to deal with the harder parts of it, so I kind of put it on the back burner for a while. And then I met Ryan and had the kids, and then it was a case of I didn't think it was going to be a possibility financially, to drop those hours at work to be able to go back to university. Now I'm very fortunate that the NHS has started doing like a bursary again for students that are studying in healthcare and medicine. So it means I'm able to go to university, which is really cool. So I actually went and did like a taster session last week at the university, and it was just incredible. Like, they've got simulators that simulate a woman giving birth. They've got simulating babies that like breathe and their arms and legs move around and all sorts. It just, like, I could talk to anyone about birthing babies and pregnancy for like hours on end. So if anyone's into that, I'm your gal. I'm just so excited, so excited to get started. I think I'm already driving Ryan mad with all of the stuff that I've got around me to do with, like, our bedrooms, and my desk is full of books and pelvis models and all sorts. I think some of that freaks him out a little bit, but yeah, I just can't wait. I really can't wait to get going with it.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. And someone's just commented, that's amazing, Rachel. I can't see who it is though, but I mean, obviously everybody keep putting your questions and comments in the box, but for some reason it's just come up as Facebook user, but whoever that is has said, that's amazing, Rachel. And I completely agree. But how exciting to go and do something like that you've always wanted to do or thought about doing. And now it's actually happening, which is
I know. I can't wait. I've been like over prepared probably, but I always prefer to be over prepared than under prepared. Like, I've already written my personal statement for university. I've already done quite a few like little online classes to help. But yeah, it's just going to be great, because a lot of midwifery, I think a lot of people just assume it's just about delivering babies and all focused around babies, when actually it's all centered around like women-centered care and being an advocate for women and really giving them all the information they need to make really well-informed decisions throughout their pregnancy and their birth. So it's just going to be amazing. I just can't wait.
Oh, that sounds amazing. And it's a very good point that it is about looking after the women as well, because pregnancy is not an easy thing. I'm giving birth, so, you need as much support as you can, really, don't you? And you need all that information given to you. So just to let you know, that was Soraya who said, that's amazing, Rachel.
Oh, thank you.
Hello, Soraya. So that's brilliant. So let's move on then, because that's absolutely wonderful. But let's move on to another exciting thing that's happening. I feel like it's your year. You're being so busy. So I did see you looking absolutely glamorous after a shoot with Charlotte, and you've done a bit of hair modelling. So tell me about that.
Yes. So I was very fortunate to be selected to model for Faulkner's salon. It's in Sheffield. So Jill, who works at Faulkner, she was entering a competition for great length hair extensions and was looking for a model with like red or copper hair. So I was very, very fortunate to be selected for that. So yeah, it was great. We got to go down to Sheffield, as you say, shoot with Charlotte. Jamie Lee, who was the previous Miss Universe Great Britain, she was there, and she's been like an all-time, like one of my favorite pageant girls in the UK as well. So I was a bit like fangirl moment. So that was really cool. Yeah, it was just great. It was just such a great day, like such good vibes the whole way through. Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. It really was.
Oh yeah, it did look wonderful, especially with all the different sort of colour hair, and it was, oh, the photos are great, obviously, for their
Yeah,
Charlotte
they
hair,
came
aren't
out
they?
great. Well, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
we
the
know,
photography genius herself. Yeah, no,
no,
it was lovely because it was just really nice to have that kind of contrast of like a brunette, a redhead, and a blonde,
yeah,
all with the completely different styled hair as well, with like a
yeah.
straight or bridal, curly, and then like Alice had like the super wavy blonde hair, which was very mermaid vibes. Yeah, it was really, really cool. It was such good fun.
Oh yeah, you all looked absolutely stunning. It was fabulous to see that. So well done on that achievement. That's
Thank
brilliant.
you.
So let's move on to, obviously, we've got 2 weeks and it's a UK National Miss Final. How are
Yeah.
you feeling about this?
I cannot wait. I think it's one of those. I made the decision to go back into pageants just after I had Ella, and that's when I was kind of applied. She was born in the May, and I was like, right, in September I'll apply for a pageant, and then obviously everything kicked off that's kicked off. So now it's kind of like I feel like I'm almost 2 years down the road from when I first decided, right, I'm going to do it. So now to finally be at the stage where we're getting to go to in-person appearances is, for one, it's just been amazing. So I've been like, I managed to go to a charity pageant a week or two ago, and I was just like, this is the first one I've been to since I've come back, and it was just great. But yeah, the fact that it's going to be not only UK's National Miss, but Miss International, Pageant Girl, and Team Pageant Girl all in the same weekend, it's just going to be just this mental, like, just sudden submersion back into pageant land all in one go. And then on top of it, I'm competing. So it's going to be great. I can't wait. I think I've done Ryan's head in enough with trying on all of my outfits time and time again. I think now it's just like, right, just get on the stage and wear them now. So yeah, it's been fab. Lots of prep, lots of building confidence for walking like a queen and being sassy and all the rest of it. It's something that didn't necessarily come naturally to me, but with the help of Harriet, we've got there. So yeah, I just can't wait now.
Oh, we can't wait to see you on stage, and we'll be there to support you, obviously. But obviously, we are really looking forward to, all meeting up again and being together again. But what do you feel about, obviously, some people may be a bit anxious, mightn't they? Because we're coming out of lockdown, and I don't feel everyone's just going to be, oh, this is going to be easy for me. How do you think some people are going to be after lockdown? Because I'm sure that people have got anxiety about being in big groups again.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'd be really interesting to see how it's all laid out at kind of the venue for one. I think that's going to have quite a big impact on how comfortable people feel in the first kind of instance. Yeah, I think it's one of those. I think it's going to be natural for anyone to have anxiety to go to, like, that's going to be the first big social situation I've been in well over a year and a half. Whilst I've been at work still throughout working in retail, it's definitely going to be the first like large crowd. And I think it's going to be one of those where we just very much need to be mindful of how everyone feels on it on like a person by person basis. Like,
Yeah.
for example, when I went to the charity pageant the other week, some people were just saying like, I'm not doing hugs. I'm just going to keep my distance, keep my mask on the whole time, even though we had the option to take the mask off sat at the table. Some people were just like, I'm just going to keep it on the whole time and keep my distance, and that was fine. So yeah, I think it's one of those where we're just going to kind of you just have to respect everybody's opinion on it, and everyone's kind of stand on what they feel comfortable with and what they don't. So yeah, I think for everyone it'll be nice to kind of, as you say, be in that social situation again. But yeah, it's just everyone's just going to have to be mindful that not everyone will feel super comfortable.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, if everyone just understands each other's boundaries. I mean, I'm a very huggy person. I'll be doing a lateral flow test before I leave and stuff. So I'm a hugger, and I'm absolutely fine with it. But I will respect other people that do not like hugging. They might want to keep their distance, or I will respect everybody with their wishes. But on the flip side of that, I think when everyone's settled in that bubble, I think it's just going to be amazing. It's going to be so happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think there's going to be some serious like endorphins in that room over the weekend. It's just everyone's going to be riding a bit of a high.
There's definitely going to be a big pageant come down from it. I know that much.
Absolutely, it's going to be a bad pageant hangover.
Glamour and all the sparkly dresses, and then it's going to be like on the way home, like, oh no, what's going on there?
Yay.
It's going to be absolutely fabulous. So, well, thank you so much for coming on to speak to us this evening. It's been absolutely amazing, and we are going to be supporting and screaming at you on stage, and we're going to support you the whole way. And we just cannot wait.
Thank you for having me. It's been fab.
Oh, it's been amazing to see you again, and I can't wait to see you in person in a couple of weeks. How exciting!
I know, I can't wait.
So thank you for coming on. So next week on Queen's Table, before I jet off to UK's National Miss and the Pageant Girl Weekender, we've got the most loveliest Miss Pageant Girl Cardiff, Megan Goldberger. I can't wait to be speaking to her next week before I actually see lots of pageant girls in real life, which is going to be very different. So there is another thing. If you want to join the team at Pageantland, there's another week where you can put your applications in. The form will make sure is on the feed on here. Also, you can find it on the Pageantland website, or message any of us from the team if you are interested. It's a really good opportunity, and we're a good group. We're good fun. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in this evening for Queen's Table, and I will see you again next week at Thursday, 7:30, Facebook Live on the Pageantland pages. Bye-bye.